Hi guys, it's Kathleen and today's video is going to be all about what's on my iPhone. I recently posted on my community tab a poll on what kind of video you'd like to see next, and the majority of you voted to see what apps I have on my phone, how I organise it and all that kind of stuff. This is for all you nosy people. So I have the iPhone 13 Pro and I've had it for just over a month now, so I thought it'd be a great time to share with you. So starting off with my lock screen, it's of my dog Lottie. There's not much to it. Then we get into my phone, and now I should just quickly say that I am into minimal living, and that also includes digital minimalism. So there isn't an awful lot on my phone, and everything is with a purpose and is intentional. My home screen is nothing fancy, it's just a light white and grey background, keeping it clean and simple. On the first page I have basic apps such as the settings, the mail, Apple Calendar, notes, clock, wallet and camera. And I don't really use Apple Calendar that much anymore. Earlier this year I did make the switch to Google Calendar. However, I do have both of them synced in with one another, so it works and it does its job all the same. But I like the fact that the Apple Calendar icon is the actual date, so that's why it's still there. For notes, I use this every single day. I keep them very organized. As you can see, I have different folders for different things, such as planning, which includes different routines, check-ins, and to-do lists and all that kind of stuff, like prompts as well. Then I've got personal, digital nomad and socials, which is for my own website and my own social profiles. Then I've got digital manager, which is for my work as a digital content creator and social media manager. And then at the end I've got just a wee journaling one, which I don't really use that much. I use a paper planner, so this doesn't get that much use, but it's there in case I ever need it. The clock app is pretty self-explanatory. I try and wake up between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. every day, and that includes weekends, sometimes earlier. I use motivational quotes to title my alarms because I think it's a bit nicer than just the standard alarm title, so yeah. At the top left, I do have the Forest widget, which is a productivity app which helps you to be more in the moment and to be more focused on whatever task that you have to do, or if you're out with a friend, to be more present with them in the conversation without having the urge to check your phone. For me, I generally use between an hour and 2 hours. And the seed, you plant a seed and it grows during that time. If you check your phone or you leave the app during that time that you set, then your tree dies. Like me, you need your phone and you need to check on it for work, for example. As a social media manager, I kind of need that. So I've taken that setting off. However, it does stop me unnecessarily getting distracted or procrastinating. What's cool about the app though is that by you planting a tree on the app, you're actually planting a real tree in the real world. So it's kind of cool. If I swipe to the left, I only have a smart widget with screen time, which I limit to 3 hours a day. Last night's sleep overview, fitness, weather, battery levels and my Google Calendar. Going back to the second page, at the top I have my Google Calendar, which I use multiple times a day. I schedule everything and it just allows me to stay grounded, to stay organised and just to keep on track on everything. I have a number of different calendars. I have personal, daily schedule, digital nomad, studying, work, money, important dates and birthdays, health updates and my mum's work rota. I literally schedule everything. Moving on, I have my app folders. I've got daily, productivity and social. In daily I have Google Maps because I prefer that over Apple Maps. Photos, round, which I use to track my medication and it, like what time I need to take whatever. I'm on quite a few, so this just keeps me on track with that. Then I've got Pure Gym, which is my gym membership, and also I book gym classes through the app. Fitness, which is self-explanatory. Then Auto Sleep, which automatically tracks how I sleep at night by using my Apple Watch when I do wear it at night. I have a goal of 8 hours sleep and I haven't really been hitting that target at the moment, as you can see. But the next is Amazon Music, which I use every single day for my music and for podcasts. In the productivity folder, I have files, then Oak and Serenity, which are both mindfulness apps. I use Oak more for breath work and in particular box breathing. This app also offers other breath exercises as well as sleep courses and meditation. So I use Oak for breathwork, and Serenity for mindfulness and meditation. Then I have Duolingo, which I think is a good app for if you already know the basics of a language, or that you don't really care about sentence structure or grammar. I don't think you can become fluent in any language just by using Duolingo alone. It is more of a game-based app. For example, it'll throw you a sentence with a space and you've got to select the right word to fit in that space. I really like it for Finnish, and I use it to recap on what I've learned in French. And I really like it that way. However, I wouldn't just use it on its own, which takes me on to my next language learning app, which is Babbel. I actually use the website on my MacBook a lot more than I use the app. However, it's good to have the app in case I'm ever without my laptop, or if I really want to recap something quickly. I think it really does work brilliantly for me personally anyway. Then there's the last language learning app, HelloTalk, which is a language learning and cultural exchange community. It connects you basically with native speakers of the language that you're learning. You can send messages and voice memos to practice your writing, your reading, your listening and your speaking, whilst also helping others. So for example, I am a native English speaker learning French, so I will often get matched with native French speakers learning or wanting to practice English. Then there's the Forest app, which I've covered, and then Clubhouse, which is like an app. It's kind of like listening to other people's phone calls, but with permission. I use it mostly for mindfulness, minimalism, productivity, and French discussion rooms. However, I haven't really used it an awful lot, and so I think I might delete it because, like I say, I've not used it a lot, but when I have used it, it's been really good. I just don't use it that much. The final folder is for my socials. I don't have a lot. I have messages, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, YouTube, and YouTube Studio. So there's no Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, TikTok. If I wanted to go on any of those, then I need to go on Safari and go directly to their website. I actually have also a lot of notifications off on most of my apps, except from messages and phone, like the phone call app. People in my life know that if there's an emergency or they need to get in touch with me directly, like really quickly, or they want a reply from me as soon as possible, then the way to do that is to call me or to send me a text message. For apps like Facebook Messenger and Instagram, I specifically have to go onto the app to check for any new notifications or messages. Then there's YouTube Studio, which is another app that I think I'm going to delete. I use it a lot more on my laptop than I do on my phone. I think the analytics are more detailed on the desktop version. I could be wrong, but I find that. I do like the app version for replying to comments and that, but again, I don't know if I can justify having the YouTube Studio on my phone. So going back on the dock, I have only my phone and Ecosia, which is what I use instead of Safari. The great thing about Ecosia is that with every 45 searches that you do on the app, they plant a real tree in the world. So if I ever have to search for something, I do it on Ecosia. Finally, swiping all the way to the right is my app library. I have a few apps hidden, so I'll just go quickly down the list. I've got Amazon Alexa, which is obviously to manage my Alexa and also the plugs. She's going off. Then I've got one of 3 games on my phone, which is BitLife, which I've had since it came out. It's a great wee life simulation app that, you know, if you ever have a few minutes to kill, that's a great way to kill those few minutes. Then I've got PUBG Mobile, which is a game that I never thought I'd ever like. However, I go through a phase of playing it and not playing it. And although I've not played it in a few months, I do like it. So that's why I've still got it. Ringo is for parking uptown, and so instead of having to have change like cash, coins and all that, I can just use this app, say where I've parked, go and do my thing uptown, whatever I'm doing. If I want to extend my time, I don't have to go back to the car, get more money, and I don't have to pay at the parking meter. I can just go onto the app and extend my time. Then there's Snapchat, which I actually never use anymore, and I actually forgot I have it, so that probably I will be deleting that. And Too Good To Go, which helps fight food waste, which is really cool, and it allows you to rescue what they call a magic bag. and you don't really know what the contents of the magic bag is going to be, but you know, you'll know whether it, depending on where you go, whether it's going to be savoury food, if it's going to be a meal, if it's going to be like pastry, sweet treats. A magic bag is unsold food from a business that day. You have big businesses such as Starbucks. You've even got stores like Morrison's on it. And then you've also got wee local gems on it, which I like to use it for. I've used it quite a few times lately, and actually a few days ago got Krispy Kreme donuts on it. A box of Krispy Kreme donuts for £3 instead of, I think it's like £10 or something. And so that was really cool. Next is Apple TV, which again I use more on my Mac, but it's here if I do want to watch it on my phone or if I'm travelling, anything like that. Currently I am watching Home Before Dark, which is really good and I recommend it. Then the last of my games is Virtual Family 3, which I downloaded last week. I was a big fan of Virtual Villagers and like the Virtual Family games. So when I realised that they brought a new one out, I kind of caved in and downloaded it. The good thing about this game is that time passes for the game in the same way it passes for you, if that makes sense. I don't know how to put it, like, yeah, if you don't know what virtual families and virtual villagers, those kind of games and how they work, where have you been? It's a good game that I can just go on and quickly feed them and check that they're alright, you know, and that kind of stuff, without having to spend tons of time on it or getting distracted. It's not one that I can sit on for hours about, which is what I like, because I don't want my phone stealing my time. It's there to be a tool for me and not the other way around. So that's it, that's all that is on my phone. I know it's not the most interesting. I usually do have a couple of photo editing apps as well on my phone, but I just haven't been posting on my socials the last few months, and so I haven't yet downloaded them. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what is on my iPhone. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, that's okay. Subscribe and let me know down in the comments what is a must-have app for you. I hope you have a lovely day or night, wherever it is that you are. Goodbye. That's it. I'm done.